Hey guys, I am really excited because today we are going to be doing a lot of Q&A and I got some really great questions. Um, you guys know the drill. Please drop your city and state so I can shout you out. And I am determined, you guys, I am determined to use my graphics today because I actually planned them out. I have them here. Let's see, is it this way? Yeah, got them here. So I don't want to forget because I put so much effort into it. But y'all know I get into the show and then I totally forget. So if I don't use my graphics, you guys just comment graphics and I'll know what you guys are talking about. But let me know the city that you're watching from and the state. It was funny because someone reached out last time and I think it was, oh my God, was it Barbados? I think, wherever Rihanna's from. But I hadn't heard of the city before. So I'm learning new things. All right, guys? Okay, so I have a couple of announcements. Oh, and I want to say this first. Thank you for submitting your questions because as a full-time content creator, it can be pretty daunting constantly coming up with content. I do content for Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you know, my coaching stuff. It's a lot. So when I get to have questions submitted, it is a breath of fresh air. It's very nice to be able to have that. So keep them coming. And if you guys like the format of tonight, I will do it again. Obviously, if I have enough questions submitted in between. All right. But take the second, hit that like button, please. I see that one of you guys remembered so far. Smash that like button. And if you're in the chat right now, you have to get out of the chat for just a quick second. Hit that button, and that way it lets YouTube know that this is content that they should be pushing out to more people. All right. I have added in the description, I'll go over this really quickly, a link to my VIP list. I have had a list for quite some time, but I've been working so hard on everything in the back end. I haven't really been consistently sending out emails aside from really like YouTube alerts and things like that. But you guys, I have been working my tail off, and there's something that is pretty big that I'm pretty excited about that I want to share with you guys, and it's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. I'm really hoping it's before January 1st. I want to launch it. But you will not be in the know unless you are on my email list. I also do things like give away free coaching sessions from time to time, and I offer seats in my course for free, but it's only to people who are on my email list. So make sure you jump on there. And on my email list, you can choose the things that you want to be notified about, so you don't have to worry about getting stuff you're not interested in, okay? All right. There's such a delay, so you guys put your city and state so I can shout you out. Those of you who just came in, don't forget to drop that so I can say hi. Okay, see, I almost forgot my graphic, but I'm going to use my little graphics. Okay, so the next thing that I want to let you guys know about, we got 3 quick announcements, get out of the way. Barbados. So was that you last time? That's so funny because I just said Barbados. But shout out to you, darling. Thank you for watching. What time is it there, by the way? So it's for us, it's Sunday night at 5 p.m. Well, here in the West Coast. I'm curious to see what time it is in Barbados. But anyway, so getting back to my second announcement, I have a video series that is dropping, and I'm really jazzed about it. It's 4 parts. It is how to prevent heartache in relationships, and who doesn't want to know how to protect your heart. So it's going to be a 4-part series. It's broken down by what you can do before you meet the guy. Okay, it's geared towards women. Before you meet the guy, 2 videos on what to do while you're talking to him, and then there's a 4th one. It's going to be just some bonus stuff. So those come out. Look for those. They drop on Tuesdays, you guys. My videos drop on Tuesday at 2 o'clock. That's 5 o'clock for you guys if you're on the East Coast. Shout out to Mobile, Alabama. Hey, I got some new cities that I haven't seen before, so that's cool. All right, so my last announcement that I need to give you guys is, come on. Oh, I didn't do this right. Y'all, try to click my button. See, I'm trying to be fancy-pantsy, and I'm not doing it right. You gotta click. You gotta think backwards, you guys, at this. It's hard to talk and do this at the same time. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Okay, so you guys are only 4 hours ahead. So you're an hour ahead of East Coast, it sounds like. Okay, so the last thing is Yonci and That is my Facebook group. For years, I've always mentioned my group where I have conversations and things like that. That is going to remain private because I'm just not even going to get into it. But I have a group that I decided to make public because I've had enough people ask me, what happens in your Facebook group? I want to be in your Facebook group, whatever. So I'm doing the same things in Yonci and Co., but this one is open. I had just told my previous members that my other group would always stay private, so just gonna honor that. But you guys, we have a lot of fun, and I think we're just over 100 now, new people. So pretty exciting. We ask a lot of questions, and at the end, I'm gonna give you guys a little sneak into some of the conversations that we are having over there. So one of the questions that I asked the guys was, when you're not at work, where could a woman expect to meet you? Because a lot of people want to know, where the heck do you meet guys, especially if they don't want to be on a dating app or things like that. So you can see this here. Can you see? Yeah. You can see. So I post questions every single day. I asked another question. Let's see. Men, how do you feel when you see a woman discussing her sex life in any capacity in a public forum? Okay, so we have interesting conversations there, so make sure you come on over. Just smash the link in the description after this is over. You guys can join in there, but make sure you follow the description, the instructions in the description on how to get in. Okay, otherwise you're going to be stuck just with the pending membership because a bunch of people are doing that. All right, so let's get into it, you guys. And thank you for those of you who did hit that like button. Still waiting for 2 of you to hit it, but go ahead and do that. Jump out of the chat really quick and then jump back in after you smash it. But you guys, it's not for my vanity. It's because it lets YouTube know that this is good stuff. Because it's like, imagine being in an auditorium and you don't hear any clapping, you don't see any facial reactions, right? There's no laughing. It's hard to gauge how the audience is receiving the message or receiving the presentation. So with YouTube, that's your way of like clapping or saying, we like this, and then it'll push it out to more people. So you guys can support me hugely by doing that, okay? Because I don't care about the likes, but I do care about the eyeballs. So please help me do that. All right, so let's get into the first question. And I absolutely love this. I love this question. How to show love to yourself. And I'll never forget, I don't think this is a dumb question at all. I remember wanting to know this answer a few years ago, and I actually started researching. And I encourage people, when you hear terms being thrown out all the time, like be healed, show yourself love, all this stuff, don't be afraid to research it or ask somebody. Don't feel like, oh, everybody must know what it means because it's being thrown around. There are a lot of people who throw around these words and they don't even know what they mean, or these phrases. So I love that this woman submitted this question. And I'm going to be answering, okay? So the first thing that I want to point out is that there's a difference between self-love and self-care. So self-care, we'll just get that one out of the way. Oh, that's so weird. You said the screen is blank? Let me know if any of you guys else is having a blank screen. Because it's looking in my monitor like it's okay. So let me know in the comments if anyone else is having an issue with the screen, you guys. I don't want to go too far without finding that out. And there's a little bit of a delay with the comments, so we'll see when you guys start to comment. But let me know if it's blank for anybody else besides Marcia, okay? So the difference between self-love and self-care. Self-care is basically taking good care of yourself physically. It's exercising, it's eating right, it's drinking water, it's taking time to unplug from social media and electronics and things like that, and going outdoors. So that's self-care. It could be taking a bath. It could be, you know, just all that stuff, getting your teeth cleaned. I don't see any comments yet, yes or no. Anyone else, those of you watching, anyone else, is my screen blank for you guys? Let me go to my YouTube on my phone and make sure that it's good to go. Y'all know I have had some my YouTube on my phone. Okay, so it's looking good for me. So someone else on the screen is normal. So it might be a glitch on yours, love, but thank you guys, because y'all know, if you watch regularly, I've had graphics on my face half the screen, or half the time. Last week when I had my brother on, I forgot to even flip the button, so it kept saying like the show's coming soon for like 10 minutes. So thank you, thank you. Always let me know, please, if you do see something. Okay. So that's the self-care. Does that make sense? So you guys, give me an okay in the comments if you understand the self-care. Okay. So that's like just taking care of yourself physically. Oh, perfect. Paul Arthur says it's good there. Okay, cool. Oh, hey, shout out to you in Atlanta. Thank you. All right, so that's self-care. So self-love, however, is a little bit different. And this is the way I like to describe self-love. It's very similar to how you love another person. So all the things that I mentioned, right? Like self-care, you wouldn't exercise for someone else. Okay, you wouldn't be eating right for someone else. You wouldn't be drinking for someone else, or doing those activities because that person can do it themselves. But when you love on them, you are giving them your focus, your energy, and your time. All right, so just kind of let that sink in. You're loving on them. So what happens with a lot of people is they go on autopilot. A lot of people are like robotical. Wake up, I have to go to work, da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. And you just go throughout your day. And you don't realize how you're feeling inside. You're not mindful, okay? We say mindlessly going about your day. Self-love is the opposite of mindlessly moving about your day. It's being mindful. And this is why with all of my coaching, the very first things that I teach is how to tune out everything. Get to silence, all right? That's what I describe. Get to silence quickly, because the faster you can get to silence, the more you can hear. Imagine yourself, y'all know I love a metaphor. Imagine yourself being in a concert, okay, or a huge auditorium full of people, and there is somebody trying to talk to you on your cell phone. That would be darn near impossible to hear them. But imagine if you could turn off all the noise, turn off all the speakers, have everyone either be quiet or leave the room. Now it's easy to hear. Well, you are the person on the phone in this metaphor. You need to hear yourself. And we have so much entertainment throughout the day. And if I remember correctly, the definition of entertain is to distract. Okay? So if you I'm going to take a quick second to do this, because this was years ago that I looked it up and I was really fascinated by the definition. And I don't like telling you guys wrong. Can we be informal? This is a live stream, right? Okay. So entertain definition. This says to provide someone with amusement or enjoyment, but it says to give attention or consideration to. That would be like to entertain. Okay, so it's not showing it here, so that's why I wanted to look it up. But essentially, it distracts you away from what's going on. Now, I don't think that everything is all good or all bad. So sometimes entertainment could be good, take a little break from your day or whatever. However, you have to be careful that you are not self-soothing a problem. You're not medicating a problem by entertaining yourself so that you can be distracted from your mind. How many of you, if you're feeling bold and you're okay with commenting, how many of you guys, just give me a thumbs up emoji, how many of you guys, or say guilty rather, have been guilty of not liking your thoughts? So you medicate with entertainment. I don't want to think about this, so I'm going to get on social media. I don't want to think about this, so I'm going to watch a movie. I don't want to think about this, so I'm going to turn on some music. I don't want to think about this, so I'm going to listen to the podcast or the radio. Comment guilty if you have ever intentionally tried to distract your mind so that you weren't bombarded with whatever thoughts you didn't enjoy. Okay? So we have a guilty. So you guys know what I'm talking about, okay? I really appreciate your interactions with the comments, because put yourself in my shoes, I'm literally looking at a camera on my desk. So it's really helpful when you guys interact. It lets me know that you're getting it. And even those of you watching the replay, it helps me to know what's resonating with you and what you guys like. And I'm the same way when I'm watching. I get into what I'm watching and I forget sometimes to even click the like or comment or things like that. So this isn't fussing at you. It's just, I'm just gently reminding you, okay? But this is the reason why you have to pay attention. Now, the reason why most people self-medicate and they just want to distract themselves is because they don't know how to deal with it. It's like having a bad kid and you're like, just give him the iPad, just give him some candy, just shut him up. You don't know how to deal with them. But if you knew how to deal with that unruly child, you could discipline them. You could tell them to sit on the couch. You could have them play outside, whatever the case may be. So what I try to do when I can't go into detail today or we'd be here for hours, But what I do with my clients is I teach them how to take care of their mind. And I liken their mind to a beautiful garden. Okay, this is the garden that you own the soil, or this is your soil. You get to choose what you plant there. You want tomatoes there, honey, have tomatoes. If you want a watermelon, you want a watermelon. If you want roses, you have roses. But you have to tend to your garden. If you've ever tended a garden in real life, you know that you can't just plant your stuff and then peace out. You need to come in every day and cultivate your garden. So in your mind, you have the same thing. You have certain things that you could feel that are bothering you and need to be addressed. The good stuff, bask in the good stuff. When you're feeling good things, bask in that. That's easy. We know how to bask in the good stuff. But a lot of times we also bask in the bad stuff. And that's what you have to do with your mindfulness. You have to notice the things that are making you uncomfortable and intentionally deal with it so that you can move past those feelings. And if you guys have a hard time really navigating, in your mind, one of the things that I tell my clients is this. I tend to feel it in my body in 3 specific places, okay? Because our minds and our bodies are so connected. They are intertwined. That's why you can get an ulcer just from stress. I was watching one of the episodes of The Bachelor. Shout out to Michelle. I think her name's Michelle. Super cute. I think she's the first Black bachelorette. I was watching The Bachelorette, and she was talking about how she got really, really sick during an unhealthy relationship. And then she realized through talking to a doctor that it was being caused completely by her relationship. So that just shows you the mind-body connection, okay? She was unable to keep food down. It was really bad. Let her grow with someone else next. Wait, let her grow with someone else? You got to tell me, because they come in late, so you got to tell me what you meant by that comment. Okay, so mind-body connection. So I was getting to the parts where I feel it, okay? In my physical body, I noticed 3 places where I experience uncomfortable thoughts, okay? I was going to say discomfort, but that could be like I stubbed my toe. But specifically discomfort from uncomfortable thoughts. I feel it in a lump in my throat, okay? Comment throat if you guys ever feel like nervous energy. And I'm looking because I have my little cheat sheet. Yeah, I think I put there. Yeah, if I'm scared or fearful, I have a lump in my throat. When you take that deep breath, you're like, it's really hard to swallow. This could be like if you're nervous to speak publicly, you're about to maybe address something you're a little nervous about. Okay, so comment throat if you've ever experienced discomfort mentally, but it manifested in a lump in your throat. Okay, there's not anything lodged in your throat. It's just you feel it in your throat. Let me know if I'm taking too long and being too detailed on this question, you guys. But this is really a big deal, and I think it's life-changing. So let me know if you're cool with it. And those of you who came in after I did my little request, please hit that like button and let me know if you're enjoying this, okay? Let YouTube push it out to more people. So Chavez says we're MIA. See, we have the handy dandy little indicator on what we're talking about right now. See, you guys like that? Okay, so lump in my throat. The other place that I feel my thoughts manifesting in my body in an uncomfortable way is in my chest. My chest will feel tight. I'll feel shortness of breath, or I'll feel like my heart is racing. And I will be honest with you guys, right before, like maybe less than an hour before I had to do my live stream, I had somebody reach out to me and they were incredibly nasty. They were really, really nasty to me. And hung up in my face. Okay, it was on a phone call. And I had to really practice what I preach, because I understood that person, literally, it was something that they were dealing with. And they've said this before, I'm not just projecting, they've said this before, they don't deal well with conflict. And they tend to just want to tap out instead of talking it through. But, do we need to take a flight? So cute. But it was uncomfortable for me because I care about this person who wants to get hung up on. And one of my triggers is not talking through communication, talking through things. I don't like things being unsolved, especially if someone I care about is hurting. I want to talk through it. So when someone snatches away that opportunity for me to hash it out through conversation, mind you, this was a very calm conversation. I was talking just like I'm talking now. It was triggering. So in my head, logical me was like, okay, girl, you got a show in less than an hour. I was in an amazing headspace before that person calls me. And I was like, I need to get back to it. Ain't nobody got time to be feeling this in my chest. So what I would do is, and guys, this is all stuff that like I've come up with. I'm not like a therapist or anything, but this works for me. I would put my hand where that feeling that I'm not liking is so that I can really focus on it, whether it's my throat, my chest, or the next place I'm going to talk about. And I focus on that space. Okay. All right. Oh, we have a troll. Okay. Anyway, so we have, I put my hand on my chest and I breathe slow breaths because I didn't like the way that I was feeling. And I consciously was thinking thoughts. I consciously was thinking thoughts that were positive and focusing on what I wanted to get. So one of the things with mindfulness is that when you focus your energy, you always want to focus on something that you want to receive. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. All right, y'all, the enemy is not going to win tonight. I am not going to be distracted. You guys, this stuff is real. This stuff is life-changing. And there are powers that be that do not like the truth to come out. But the truth will set people free. So I'm just going to speak that over this live stream, you guys. All right? Those of you who are prayer warriors, pray in your spirit because we're going to get through this. And this is a sign that this is something that you guys really need to hear. I had a very good feeling about this live stream all day today. And this is confirmation right here. All right. Y'all not going to win. Okay? Anyone coming against us, you're not going to win. So that's the importance of mindfulness. I really went heavy on that first tip. I'm really heavy on that first tip because it's really important. So you don't want to be on autopilot. You don't want to be mindlessly moving throughout the day. The other thing is you want to spend time alone with yourself. Okay. So just like you enjoy the company of other people, if you practice self-love, you're going to start to enjoy your time with yourself. So for example, I'm alone today. My daughter's with my ex-husband. And so after this live stream is over, I'm going to order a pizza and watch something on TV. Okay. It's a real treat for me to watch TV because I don't get a lot of time to do that. And so I'm going to enjoy myself. When you practice self-love, you are by yourself enjoying your own company. This is why I work with my clients to get the, to come up with things that you love to do on your own so that it's not awkward or weird when you don't have a friend to hang out with or you're single, okay? And the next thing is to get a spiritual connection. All right? Thank you, Paul Arthur. When 2 or 3 are gathered together, okay? Okay. The other thing is to get a spiritual connection. Y'all, woo! So I've gotten a lot more bold on my Instagram lately. And I did a live stream, was it on Instagram, where I said, look, I'm not gonna, sugarcoat my faith because my faith is, I was gonna say 99%, but it's probably like 100. My faith is everything. My spiritual walk, my connection is everything. Without it, I would be in the ground. I am convinced of this because I was so depressed when my spirit man was not being fed. So you have your physical body, right? Your body that you can touch. And then you have your spirit. Like my spirit was troubled because of that phone call. My spirit was temporarily troubled because of the troll. And nobody physically came in. Like you guys don't know where I am. You're not physically coming in and pushing me, but that's your spirit. Okay. So whether or not you're a religious person or a person of faith, you still have a spirit, okay? You're a spirit man encased in a physical body. So you have to tend to your spirit. Otherwise you are going to, otherwise you're going to start to feel dead inside and you're going to start to have all these other side effects that I will be talking about in future live streams, okay? So if you guys are interested in the spirit stuff, let me know. And again, this does not mean religious, okay? I'm talking about your spirit man. And you'll feel a difference. And the last thing is self-love is about enforcing boundaries with other people. So the way that I put it in my coaching is I tell people, imagine someone outside of yourself. Because sometimes we are the hardest on ourselves, right? So we say things to ourselves that we would never let someone else say about us. So think of all the negative things that you say in your mind. If someone walked up to you at your job or a stranger came up to you and said those things, would you be like, oh, hell to the no? If it is, then you need to stop that. You need to stop that negative communication, because whatever you're focusing on in your thoughts and whatever's coming out of your mouth is being planted into your spirit. And your spirit is very vulnerable. Your spirit needs to be protected at all costs. So that's the other thing. So again, you guys, I just covered the tip of the iceberg, okay? I just barely covered a little bit when it comes to self-love. But this is what I've dedicated my life to, teaching other people, and how it manifests when you don't have enough self-love. It manifests in being lonely and desperate. And a lot of women, it manifests in thinking that a man or a relationship is the solution. That's why on Instagram, I focus so much on women who are hopeless romantics. Okay, you hear that word? Hopeless romantics. So this stuff is very, very important. And if you guys would like to do work on this stuff, hit me up, DM me on Instagram. I see one of my awesome clients here. You guys, it is game changing. Okay, I told my story. I was sobbing my eyes out last week on Instagram Live. But I told my story about being depressed and battling anxiety. And I came up with a solution out of desperation. And I know it was something that God gave me, because it is life-changing. And now that I've met other people, I realized this wasn't like my own thought. I didn't make this up. Other people had it too. But you know, one of those things where you're like, I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't read any books. I didn't watch any videos. So how do I know this exact information? Okay. Oh, God bless you. Thank you. And that's the most hilarious icon with the little bird and the cape. Thank you for the $2 tip, you guys. I really appreciate that. It's so awesome. Okay, great. You guys, I love this. Thank you for giving me feedback, because it makes me feel like, you know, because see, my thoughts are like, oh God, are they bored? Are they not enjoying this? I have to watch myself talk, okay? But when you guys comment, it lets me know I'm on the right track. Okay, woo, you guys. All right, so that's step number 1. And I'm so excited to use my little graphics, because I actually took the time to do them, and I'm actually remembering to use them. All right, so here's the next question. Bloop. Y'all like that? Okay. See my little icon move? Okay. I like it. She said this is helpful and I'm taking notes. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I can't wait till one day. I hope I can be blessed to be in, you know, in a public place where like we can actually be in person and we can talk, and oh gosh, you guys, I love this stuff. So Paul Arthur says, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a hopeless romantic. I want you to change that sentence, Paul Arthur, to right now I am going to learn how to not be a hopeless romantic, because we're not going to speak that over you, okay? There's nothing hopeless about you, my friend. You just are missing some information. You're missing some truth, and that truth is going to set you free. You're going to be a hopeful romantic very soon, okay? So this stuff is really, really, really important. There are so many terms out there. There are so many messages out there, I'm going to say from the enemy, and they get us to speak these curses over ourselves. And I'm not getting on you, Paul Arthur, at all, okay? This was just the perfect teaching moment. We speak things over ourselves, unknowingly cursing ourselves, because this is the terminology that's out there, okay? There are so many songs that have messages. One of the courses that I'm working on right now, every time the troll comments, I'm just going to say, praise God, I love you, Jesus. So every time there's a troll comment, Jesus' name is going to be said, okay? We going to have fun with this. Woo! All right. Y'all. See? Getting back to my train of thought. So I was listening to Tony Braxton, because one of the examples that I wanted to use in my course, talking about the curses that we say over ourselves, man, I'm Tony, if you're watching this, okay, I am not trying to talk trash. I'm just using this as an example, okay? But there is an album that I used to listen to. You guys remember that song, Unbreak My Heart? Okay, that album, okay, yes, I did just saying. That album, those songs are full of messages that I would never want my worst enemy to say over themselves, okay? I'm never gonna breathe again. What's the purpose of life without you? It's just devastating lyrics, but it sounds so beautiful. Okay, the songs are beautiful ballads, and I used to sing them, and I was just hopeless, hopeless, hopeless in my hopeless romanticness. Okay, so you guys, this stuff is serious. Yes, you better come through, Savage Money. Say the name of Jesus. That's right. Okay, y'all ain't gonna hide my little light anymore. Okay, okay. Oh, now someone must be sipping because they said I said. Oh, she's saying it nice. I was gonna say, because I know you ain't talking about my singing, or maybe you are, but if you are, you must be sipping on something. Either way. Okay. Okay, all right. The next thing, what was I trying to talk about? Okay, so the next question is, why do good guys get treated like crap? Okay, so there's a guy, obviously, who submitted this question. He said, why do women treat good guys like crap? Now, the first thing I would say is that is a sweeping statement. Okay, so that is like assuming that all women do that. At least that's how I hear it. So I would say that some women treat good guys like crap. But the thing is that the word good is subjective, and we have kind of like beat the dead horse. What do you call it? Beating a dead horse? I don't know. Beat this topic to a pulp in my group, my private group. But we were talking about this whole thing because so many guys will pop up in the little comments and the discussions that we have, the little private live streams that we do in there. And they're like, oh, good guys, wham, wham, wham. All right. Which is what led me to, no shade, but that's how I feel. It led me to write my ebook, Why Women Love Assholes. Now, my title is very clickbaitish, okay? Because women don't necessarily like assholes, not all women, but there are qualities that seem to be really easy for assholes to do, okay? So the qualities in and of themselves are not bad. It's the intention behind what they're doing makes the asshole a bad person. So what I did was I wrote the question, I wrote the book so that the good guys could learn the tactics, okay? Of course, a negative energy would love a negative bent question. Okay. Lord, forgive me. Okay, I am not going to become snarky and petty. Father, forgive me. Okay, we're going to keep it in the light. So you guys go get my book. I think it's like $8. It's like nothing, okay? But you can get it on my website, chasingyonci.com. You can find the link in my description below. But it explains certain things. So I'm just going to give you one example just so you can understand, okay? Not to be super vague. But an asshole doesn't give a woman all his attention. Why? Because he wants to do whatever he wants to do. He doesn't care about her, right? But the thing is that it makes him more attractive. Whatever is readily available, people don't tend to value it. All right. That's why there are sales that are only for a limited time. That's why they say, get this offer done before this time, the sense of urgency. So assholes do it because they genuinely don't care about the chick. So they're not reaching out or whatever. But the good guy, because he likes her so much, he is just way too available. He comes across as needy and she's turned off by it. So this does not mean that the woman is the enemy. There are some, okay, I'm not unaware that there are some women who just don't know how to treat a guy well, but that's not what to me, that's not helpful to talk about that because she's a lost cause, the assholes are a lost cause. I want to talk to good guys and I want to talk to good girls. So, good guys, if you're a self-proclaimed good guy, you got to brush up your skills, okay? I'll be honest, I'll tell myself, I am a hopeful romantic. So I want to go all in when I meet someone. I want to jump from 0 to 1,000, which is why I did the video 90-day discovery phase, because I was just so excited. I was doing all this stuff, and a lot of the behaviors I was doing were turnoffs if you look at like just rules of life, you know, like what's that, 48 laws of power and things like that. There are certain rules that are governing human nature, their human behavior, and you can hate the player or hate the game. So you have to decide what you want and figure out the rules to win, because we're in this game of life, and you have to stop looking at things as good or bad in that sense and look at them as what's working or not. So that would be my advice on that question, okay? If that resonated with you guys, comment good guy. If it resonated with you guys, if I answered that to where you guys feel like that was satisfactory, okay? I'm so excited because I'm remembering to use my graphics still. We are going to get to question number 3. How to keep a relationship strong. Yay! Okay, cool. So you guys are digging it. All right, there's like 7 people who haven't hit that like button yet. Should we wait? Do 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 do. Y'all take a second and hit that button so YouTube knows that we are enjoying this. Okay, let them know, let YouTube know that you're enjoying this. It's gonna push it out to more people. More people will be suggested this video. And I really appreciate, oh, there we go. 1 person liked it. Thank you. Let's see if we can get all of them up to the top. Let's see if we can match those numbers, okay? Remember, you have to close the chat box. I'm like Kevin Samuels, okay? He'll like, I'll stop this. All right, Fun TV. Yes, hit that doggone like button. If you smash it, oh, there we go. All right, come on, guys. We got like 6 more people we need to hit that button. Close your chat window, hit that like, and then jump right back in, okay? Oh, thank you, Chavez. He is contributing. So he's answering the question, how to keep a relationship strong, open communication, and checking in with each other periodically. You all in my notes, sir, okay? Y'all in my notes. But yes, love, that is the answer. All right, 5 of you guys are just not going to do it. Okay, fine. 5 of you don't want to hit like. Anyway, I'll move forward. Okay, guys, so these are the suggestions that I have for keeping our relationship strong. The first thing, this is actually from my interview. I thought it was such a good gem. It was from my interview with Derek Brady, okay? He's an actor from, what is that show? Johnson's, okay, you guys? Little name drop. I was his first interview. Super excited. And I actually just filmed. If you watch my stories on Instagram, you would have seen that I got to play his wife in a video for Paige Kennedy, okay, who has had a ton of movies and shows and things like that, including Weeds, which was one of my favorites back in the day. Anyway, guys, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, hello, follow me on Instagram and then follow my stories. But anyway, I did an interview with him and he was talking about his relationship. He's been married for over 20 years. And he said one of the things that you have to realize is that the person is going to change, right? It could seem scary, but then you think about it, like you wouldn't want the person to not evolve over decades. So you have to understand that the person you fell in love with and then eventually married, it's not going to be the same person. Now, hopefully within their character, which is why in my content I teach so much about how to look for character traits, because personality stuff can change. People can go from being introverts to extroverts. People can start to change over time. So the first thing in keeping your relationship strong is just having that open mind and having a little bit of wiggle room to know that, okay, we might start to like different things and things could change, okay? Preferences can change. But temperature checks, just what Chavez said, doing temperature checks, just like you go to the doctor every so often, just like you, do business checks within your business and see where you are. You want to take accountability for how things are going. Don't just assume that no news is good news, okay? Some people just hold things inside. So it's good to do that. And one of the suggestions that I've made before is that you need to, not you need to, rather, the suggestion that I made was that you should try to limit your criticisms. If you can do like a 3-to-1 rule, that would be great. If you haven't said 3 positive things, don't bring up that negative thing. This will keep you in check because it's such a habit to speak about the negative things, okay? There was this survey that they did, and they said, like, if somebody has good service, it's very, very rare that they do a Yelp review or speak to the manager. But if they have bad service, almost 100% of the time, they go to Yelp, put a bad review, or ask to speak to the manager. So that's just human nature. Remember I said laws of nature. So understand these rules of nature and fight against it so that you can have a better shot at a healthy relationship. So not only should you do the 3-to-1 in my suggestion, but you should always pair a positive with a negative. So if there's something, you know, that Mary Poppins, just a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. The reason for that song is because there are things that are not enjoyable in life, but if you can add something good to it, something positive, you trick your brain. So here's an example, okay? I don't want to lose my train of thought. Okay, that's where I am. Mental note. I don't enjoy working out. Like, that's just not something that I'm like, woo, let me go work out. So one of the things that I've committed to doing is walking 5 miles per day. But, he said it's freezing. Chilling, I wish I was, what was I going to say? So I committed to walking 5 miles a day. One of the things that I like to do is I like to watch TV. So I feel kind of guilty watching TV, especially if there's work to be done or I haven't worked out or whatever. So what did I do? I married those two things because remember, not everything is all good or all bad. TV is not all bad, but it's bad if you are putting it in front of your priorities. It is bad if you're feeding your spirit things that is bringing you down. Okay, how are we doing on time, guys? Okay? Because it looks like I'm going to go over an hour. I thought I was going to do half an hour, but clearly, he said I'm ultra competitive. Yeah, I was going nuts because in my Sunshine Club, you guys, where we hold each other accountable and try to stay fit and stuff like that, I was having a competition for miles walked, and this girl literally walked 20 miles one day because she was trying to win. Like, we were like neck and neck the whole month. And then this heifer came with like 16 miles and 20 miles. And I was like, oh no. So I think I did 15 was like the most I did in one day. But yes, Anthony, that's why I love you guys, because you challenged me. So what I did, back to my marrying the thing I'm dreading and the thing I love, my thing is I get excited about whatever I'm going to watch. It could be a YouTube video or whatever, or podcast I'm listening to, but I don't allow myself to listen to it until I get on my walk. So what happens is I zone out. I find a parking lot where I can just mindlessly walk in circles, because obviously if I'm walking, I don't want to go in one direction and get lost. But I'll just mindlessly walk in circles, or I'll pace. Oh, thank you so much. I'll pace in the parking lot or whatever where I live. But I'll look up and I'm like, oh my God, it's been 3 miles. So let me see, like today, I forget, I wear Fitbit, feel free to sponsor me. I wear my Fitbit every single day. I even wear it in the shower because it's waterproof. It is not letting me click it. All right, so I'm just going to go on my app because I don't know why it's not letting me click it. But today, I don't even know how much I walked. Okay, today I already walked 3 miles. It says it hasn't synced, so it probably, no, it's more than it. Yeah, 385 is just synced up. So I've almost walked 4 miles. So after this live stream, I know I want to get to my 5. So I'm just going to put on a show that I wanted to watch. And I'm putting on the show I want to watch, and then I'm going to just finish and knock out my mile at 1.2 miles, okay? So it's about tricking your brain. So he said that's because it's not waterproof. Hush, it is, okay? So when it coming back to what we were talking about, where's my little thing right here, how to keep a relationship strong, try to limit your critique, like I said, 3-to-1, 3 positives, 1 negative, but try to not even give those negatives until you guys have your weekly meeting. You can decide how often you want to meet up, but you guys could have something fun. So you could have like a date night, or you could just have something fun that you do, but at the very beginning, rip it off like a Band-Aid, have that quick check-in, and then get to something fun. So that way you can resolve it. There's nothing hanging over, whatever. And the more you do this, the less weeds you're going to have to pull up in your beautiful garden of a relationship, because you're going to be staying on top of this stuff, okay? So you could say, hey, babe, you know, earlier this week when this happened, this is how I felt. Now, the two reasons why I like this idea is because, one, it keeps you from nitpicking each other all throughout the week. And then two, you are not in your emotions when you're talking about it. Chances are you had days to calm down and really think about it, and maybe even there's some things on the list that you thought were a big deal to talk about. You're like, I'm not even going to bring that up. It's ridiculous at this point. Okay, so I think that's a great idea. Okay, not really understanding the... I don't get that comment. Okay, so that's what I would recommend. Check in when you're checking in. See if they're feeling loved. Ask them what their needs are, and then seeing if they're getting met. So ask your question that first week, and then the next week follow up. Maybe even keep a little journal so you don't forget, but follow up. Babe, I know you were saying that you feel stressed out, like I'm not helping out around the house enough. And then the next week, how have you been feeling? And then she could say, God, just those 2 days where you did the dishes was everything. I really appreciate that, okay? But here's the problem. A lot of times we get in our feelings, okay? Because if you don't do the control of your mind stuff that we talked about at the very beginning, you're going to just feel something and then act on it, and you're going to just be all over the place like a freaking, what do you call it? Like, you're just volatile, okay? So you need to be able to mentally get to a space where you're like, I'm going to get out of my body. I'm going to pretend like I'm my spouse's best friend, which you should be anyway. But I'm going to act like I'm their girlfriend or guy friend or whatever. And I'm going to listen as though it's not me. So just like if your friend was telling you what was happening, you would just be consoling them. You wouldn't make it about you. You'd be like, oh, girl, that sucks. Oh, man, how'd you feel? You need to be like that with your partner. Oh, God, that sucks. Oh, you felt like that? Man, da-da-da-da-da. And then listen to what their solution is. So let's just go back to the example. Let's just say, the woman says, I don't feel like you've been helping me out around the house. Instead of being defensive, you just, God, and put yourself in her shoes. Man, I know what it feels like when I feel like I'm carrying everything at work and, my team isn't helping me. And, man, what can I do? Totally different energy, right? That's why I always say the two things to look for in a person to make sure the biggest red flags is pride and self-centeredness. Because if a person's prideful, they're not going to be able to have these conversations because they're going to be too stuck on how they feel. It's not even be about you. It's going to be about how they feel. And then self-centeredness, they're not going to care to do anything because it's not serving them. All right. So those two red flags, free game. Okay. That's why those two are the big deals. But if you have a loving partner who's able to put their feelings aside, get outside of themselves, then they can actually listen and then work on it. And then we'll flip it because I used a woman as an example. But the guy could be like, babe, I need to decompress when I come home. You kind of just jump on me, and I know you have things that you need help around the house with, but like I just need a little bit of time when I come home just to decompress. So then during the week, she can work on that. Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to set a little timer on my phone. When he comes home, set it for 1 hour so I don't forget, and let him just go chill. You know what? Actually, I'm going to have a cold beer waiting for him, or I'm going to give him some affection or whatever he likes. And then, now that he's had time to decompress, then I'm going to come in and say, babe, hey, would you mind helping me strip the kids' bed? They peed again. Whatever the case may be, okay? If this is good stuff, you guys, give me a thumbs up emoji in the comments. Let me know if this was helpful. The other thing is focus on your relationship. Focus on your relationship. At the beginning, you don't even think about it. You just do it. So when you're first dating, you guys are so into each other. You spend hours on the phone talking. You make plans to see each other. You're intentional about your energy. So you're intentional about your energy. And I'll come back to your comment, Paul, Arthur. You're intentional about your energy. You're focusing on your relationship. You're focusing on the person intentionally. You're not calling your person while you're playing a video game. You're not calling your person while you're half watching the TV. When you are first dating, you are all in. You cupcaking. Y'all have seen that meme where the person's like sitting on top of the fridge, or they're in these weird positions, but because you're on the phone, just immersed in the conversation, just so infatuated. That's the energy, okay? You're concentrating your energy on the other person, and you're getting off on the sheer Um, the sheer energy of the time spent together. Time is energy, okay? Focus is energy. That's why when you meditate and you pray, you're spending time with God, with Jesus, his Father. I'm so petty. You're spending time with God. It is energy. That focus translates into energy, and that energy builds the relationship. That's why people say we grew apart. You didn't focus enough energy on each other. Okay? So you have to focus on it. If you don't focus on it, it won't get done miraculously. Full circle. We talked about self-love at the very beginning of this live stream, okay? If you don't intentionally focus your attention on your thoughts, you're not going to give it energy. And it's going to autopilot give energy to what is being put in there. Energy is coming from the TV. Energy is coming from the radio. Energy is coming from the podcast, the YouTube video, okay? Energy is coming to you. And if you're not careful, it's going to seep into your spirit. So energy, focus and attention turns into energy, okay? So pay attention to each other and intentionally give each other their time. When what is given energy grows, okay? Satan, the Lord rebuke you in the name of Jesus. My believers, just comment Jesus in the comments. My believers, okay? Just comment Jesus in the comments. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Oh, yes, Paul Arthur. Okay, true. Intentions create the results we receive. Thank you. And Chavez is like a master at this stuff. Okay? Yes! Yes, my believers in Jesus Christ. Okay? Look, there is power in the name of Jesus. Shut up, Anthony. He talking about now stop singing. I love that dude. Okay. Yes, come through with the Jesus comments. Okay. So I want to get to Paul Arthur's comment before. He said, I want to have these conversations, but women aren't willing to do that with me because I'm just a friend. That's why it's important to learn this stuff, okay? Learn this stuff about human nature so that you can get out of the friend zone, okay? Because you're a good-looking guy. There's no reason why you should be getting stuck in the friend zone. This is stuff that can be worked out. I don't know. You know what? Actually, maybe they can. Let's see. Let me see if I can. Is this dating advice or a cult session? If we are a Jesus cult, then yes. This is a Jesus cult. Hardcore. Okay. Oh, awesome. I can't. Man, who said that? NH. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Bloop. All right, let's see if that worked. Y'all are so smart. Okay, nope, just deleted that comment. All right. Oh, there's a timeout button too. Okay. So I think that he's gone. Okay, I think he's gone. See? Just answers will be manifested. All right. So let's see here. If you guys can still see the comments, let me know. I could put him in timeout. I put him in timeout. I've hidden him. So timed out for 300 seconds. So we'll see if he pops back up. But we're gonna research that. Okay. Oh, you could still see the comments. Okay. So hopefully keep singing. That's awesome. Oh, okay. So he won't be able to comment. So he can still look. That's a blessing because he can still keep hearing the name of Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, Anthony can get to it if he needs to. Anthony going in Big Brother mode right now. No, we can call off the dogs, Anthony. Okay. Uh, so it's just gonna keep showing that his things are blocked. But y'all, this stuff is exciting. Okay, and I love that there are so many believers on here. You guys, I told you at the beginning, be on my email list because I am working on something that I'm so excited about. And I'm going to be launching it through my email list. So make sure you're signed up. The link is below. Okay. There are so many people. I'm not even get to it. We're not going to talk about it. Y'all going to get the email when you get the email. Okay. Where am I? All right. So I think we're done with, yes, how to keep, I like doing this, you guys, how to keep the relationship strong. So now we are going to, oh, hello, Ivan. Let me know where you're watching from. Okay. See, yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay. Where am I on this graphic? Okay, perfect. Okay, so this question was asked, what if I give and receive love with different love languages? So for example, they give love through showing physical affection to their person, but they like words of affirmation. This is actually be a quick answer. The question was, is it bad? I don't think it's bad at all. All you need to do is make sure that your partner is good and make sure that you are good. So if you are getting your, let's say words of affirmation, which I just made those up. Let's just say you're getting your words of affirmation, then you should feel good. And if they're enjoying the physical touch, then you're good. The problem comes in is when you show love in a way that your partner doesn't receive it. Okay? So that's super important to note. Okay. I think he left. I believe the more we have in common, the better our chances of experiencing success. I totally agree, Chavez, because you don't have to work. Oh, thank you for the another $2. Thank you, you guys. I really, really appreciate that, okay? That is going towards groceries this week because I am doing this content on faith, you guys. Literally faith. My patrons really help me out every single month, and I'm telling you, I'm not going to need patron support for long, but it is so nice because it's letting me kind of focus on my craft, focus on my content, as opposed to obsessing about money. And can we just be real for 2 seconds, you guys? Money is necessary to eat, you know, put a roof over your head, whatever, but I don't ever want to be driven by it. I don't ever want to be, I want to make this because I think I'm going to get paid. That's not why I'm doing a YouTube channel. I've been doing it for years and not getting a cent. But it is nice to have that blessing. So thank you guys. Okay. What was I going to say? Okay, so that's that on that question. All right, so now here's another question. It came in after I made my graphic, so there's not going to be a cute graphic on this. But y'all are big kids. You can focus without the graphic, right? All right, so this question was, why do men feel so entitled to like sex and other things? Okay, that came in on my YouTube channel. Shout out to everyone who filled in the question on my IG, my YouTube, and on my Facebook. So the simple answer, love, the reason why they feel entitled is because they've been given it. So it's the same reason why some women feel entitled, because they're like, it's like spoiled kids. They've been given it. And that's why it's so important for women to band together. The more women who do things a certain way, the more you're going to change how things go. Okay? Did I say all, or did I not say some? Because I said that earlier. I tried to say some, so thank you. He said because we paid for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Just kidding. You silly. So some men feel entitled because they've been given it, okay? But what I try to do is not focus my energy whatsoever on what I don't want. And I also, like you just pointed out, I like to try to always say some. Some men who I don't want feel entitled. So if I come across a man who is acting like he is entitled to sex, he is entitled to my time, he's entitled to whatever, I don't have to give him any more energy because I just simply go, oh, put him in that category of he doesn't fit what I want. The problem is that we get so discouraged, and I did a post on Instagram recently and a lot of people liked it. we're lumping everyone together. And this is why I say the data is skewed. I love saying the data is skewed. You're taking in all the data. So, perfect example. Right now, at this exact moment, there are 18 people live. So, if I said to you, are you liking this live stream? And all of you guys gave it a 5 out of 5, except for one, and it was the little troll. What should I do if I actually was thinking clearly? Would I keep all those answers in there, or would I remove his? I would remove his. Why? Because I can't handle the truth? No, because I know it's skewed data. I know there's something off. He's not my target market. Now, if someone else said, hey, I would have given it a 5, but it went a little long and, I didn't like that. Or the singing, I would have given it a 5, but I didn't like the singing, or like something instructive. Then I'd be like, this is an actual person who likes my content, but this is an area of improvement. If I'm doing this so I can figure out where to improve, I'm not going to worry about someone who just isn't in my target market, okay? So you guys have to do the same thing with dating. Stop allowing your spirit to take in data that doesn't apply to your target market. So if you're coming across women who are gold diggers, who cares? Let them go dig for gold. Ladies, if you're coming across men who think that they are entitled to sex after one date, or sometimes not even a date, just the first phone call, come over, girl. Who cares? Don't even focus on them. They're not our target market, okay? Literally, I know it sounds so simplistic, like I'm oversimplifying it, but I'm not. Sometimes the things that are most important are the most simple. Stop worrying about why people do what they do. They do what they do. You just recognize it, put them in the right box. Anthony, you're so silly. Okay, now here's the thing, Paul Arthur. You said, I've been told I'm entitled, but that couldn't be further from the truth. You need to ask why. When people say things to me, I always ask why. It doesn't matter if they're wrong. I want to know why, because perception is reality for people. So if more than one person has said something, there's something worth looking at, okay? There's something worth looking at. So check, find out why, and then you could figure out what's giving the wrong impression. I just wonder why some women love to complain about what some men aren't doing, and then when I try to offer some comfort, they get defensive. Here's the thing. People don't like to get advice unless they are specifically asking for it. That's law of nature, okay? I could have a best friend who is terribly overweight, and every time I see her, she's drinking soda, she's eating cake, she's eating pizza, and she works out though. She could complain to me and be like, oh my God, I ran 4 miles yesterday and the scale hasn't moved at all. I've been running every day. Everything in me is going to want to be like, because you're putting in more calories than you're burning. But unless she specifically asks me, Yonci, I saw you lost 20 pounds. How did you do it? Unless she specifically asks me, I ain't giving her unsolicited advice. Okay? That is just a law of nature that I have figured out. People do not like unsolicited advice. They're going to get defensive. Okay? That's why it's tough sometimes to love people, because you see the answer is just right there. But unless they're open to it, they're not going to receive it in the spirit in which it was given. Okay? Hope that was helpful. All right, so I promised I was going to do a bonus. Chavez says some men feel entitled to sex in the same way women feel entitled to be catered to. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was saying. Just like some women feel entitled. I wrote a whole book, First Date 101. That was the number one thing that men couldn't stand with women, is that the ones that feel entitled. Just gimme, 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 and I don't need to do anything in return. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a bonus. I'm trying to think, how many women do we have on here? If you're a woman, put woman. And if you're a guy, put guy. There are 18 people at this exact moment. So let me see what percentage, because it's going to depend. It's going to indicate which thing I'm going to give as the bonus. Why does that also apply to constructive? Yes, yes. Any advice is all all needs to be solicited. So constructive, yeah. And it is a total gamble to give someone unsolicited advice, because there is a 50-50 chance that they're not going to take it well, and the odds are actually less than 50 if you really look at human nature. Not a woman, so silly. All right, so we have, okay, you voted twice, Anthony. You're throwing me off. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 women and 1, 2, 3 guys. We're kind of like half and half right now. Here's the problem with that. A lot of women won't say what you just said. They'll just expect me to follow the signs and figure it out. But this is a thing, Paul, Arthur. This is, okay, I'm going to get a little bit constructive with you, okay? I'm going to be very direct with you, but this is in love. You're focusing so much on the other person. If you focus on yourself, that's where the power lies. There is a power mindset and a victim mindset, and I'm not fussing at you. This is a teachable moment, okay? If we look at the other person, like the woman asking the question, why do men feel entitled to sex? That is a helpless place to be. We're just victims of other people. And it sucks. Like, you can't control it. But if you always step into where is my power in this situation, in these feelings, it is so refreshing, right? Now I'm going to show you how to do this. So your energy is, gosh, why don't women just say it? Okay? You can flip it. Woo! I am so glad I got that tip from Yonci about unsolicited advice, because now I finally can put an answer to why this person keeps getting upset. Okay, so Paul, I'll repeat it again. So you're focusing on why, this is human, okay, so don't feel bad. You're focusing on why the women are doing what they're doing wrong. That is going to leave you feeling frustrated, discouraged, and helpless. You need to focus on where is my power in this situation. So instead of looking at the situation where women are not being direct with you, going, gosh, I'm being dramatic. Gosh, this really sucks for me that they're not being direct. Focus on your power. Oh, I just gained a muscle because Yonci taught me nobody likes unsolicited advice. 90% of people don't like unsolicited advice. Probably 99% of the people. So now I finally get it. Even though I'm a sweet guy giving what I feel is really sound wisdom, it's not being received well. So instead of trying to continue, you're going to take this wisdom. You're going to take this wisdom. Wisdom says, let me sit back. You don't have to be Captain Save, but you know what? You don't have to save everybody. People will come to you for wisdom if they want wisdom. And if they don't come to you, pray for them. Going back to the situation where that person really upset me right before this live stream, because of what I understand about psychology, you guys, I'm obsessed with psychology. I know exactly why that person was upset. We talked about in previous conversations. This person gets very defensive when they feel like they're being critiqued. And even though I was speaking so gently, just like this, because I know that's their problem. When I wouldn't cave in, so I'm not trying to give you guys too much of the story, but this is basically what happened. They said, I want something from you. And I said, I would need something back from you. There needs to be balance, okay? Any type of relationship, there's an unspoken balance. We happen to be speaking about it. Okay, I'm willing to negotiate. If you need this, I need this. And instead of that person reaching inside of themselves and saying, I really want what Yonci has, so I better give her what she wants. Because she has compromised. She's came down to, she said, okay, I'll give you this. Okay. Instead of that, they projected on me and was like, you should just give in to everything I want. There should be nothing I have to give on my end. You should be the only one to compromise. And got infuriated and said, you know what? Yes, then we don't have a deal. And hung up in my face. Because of psychology, I understand psychology. The old me would have been crying, by the way, and devastated, and oh, my friendship, my relationship with it, whatever. Okay, they went so far as to block me, y'all. Okay, it was so, the reaction did not match the situation. I can laugh now because it's so ridiculous. But, and you guys, this is years of work to get to this place. But that I still felt it in my spirit. That's why I had to do the breathing and the chest alts that we talked about. If you guys missed it, go back and watch it. It still affected me. But in my logical mind, I said, look, this person felt rejected. This person didn't think they were capable of giving what I needed in that compromise. So instead of them just saying, you know what, Yonci, I hear you. I just can't give that. So you know what? Maybe we don't have a deal. And calmly getting off of the call, or didn't even have to get off the call, just say, I guess we don't have a deal. It became an attack on me personally because it made them feel better to just project that. Now, I want to tell them that. I want to tell them and be like, look, you're projecting onto me. Like, that's your issue. You didn't need to be nasty. I'm not being nasty to you. I'm not raising my voice at you. And the irony, last year when I met this person, they said their number one deal breaker with any friendship or relationship was being hung up on. They said, and I quote, if a person hangs up on me, they're dead to me. But look at this. They're flipping it, okay? Not to go on such a tangent, but what I'm saying is, I know that I'm 100% right in what I'm surmising. But my spirit, my wisdom from my 41 years says, this person's not in a position to receive that. They're going to be like, I don't want therapist Yonci right now. I just want you to give in to my demands. Because I want that. I'm a kid. I want the candy. But they're talking to Yonci of 2021, who says all relationships that are voluntary relationships must be equal. Okay? Because if it's like a mom or a parent, you know, there's certain people I give exceptions to where you can take, and I'll keep giving. Parent being one of them. But if it's a voluntary relationship, I'm not going to compromise and come out of my my faith. Oh, I just poured out my heart for you, Paul Arthur. You had to leave, so you got to go back and watch. So look at the timestamp, okay? So it's an hour and 15 minutes in. So go back and watch it at around like an hour, okay? Because I probably spent a few minutes on that. Hopefully that helps. Does that make sense what I was saying, you guys? Okay, comment. Let me know if that made sense. I don't want to go too deep, but that's where this stuff really is powerful. Chavez, yes. There's so much stuff that Chavez used to say years ago, and it would go over my head, and it would actually low-key piss me off. He doesn't know that. Because I wasn't at the place where I am now. And it's crazy because now when I hear Chavez say things, I'm like, I get it now. There's literally levels to this. Oh, don't be sorry, Paul. I'm just teasing you. It's recorded, so I'm not worried. I love you so much, Chavez. Chavez, you're such a freaking dope person. Probably cry if I talk about him too much. He's one of those people that are just like, if you could visibly see light, he would be so radiant you'd have to put sunglasses on. He's such a beautiful person. Let's see. We men are horrible and understanding indirect signs. Yeah, women, we have to do better speaking up and speaking our needs. Anthony says, just like we can't make Yonci keep her hair curly, it just is what it is. That's so funny. I actually did a poll on Instagram a while back asking about if you like my hair curly or straight. People are all over the board. Same thing with my weight. If you guys liked me when I was like waif thin, or if y'all like me when I'm juicy and curvy. It's not 100%, you know, the jury's, it's not, what do you call it? It's not anonymous. I mean, anonymous. It's not, unanimous. Okay. You guys are funny. I'm working on that too. TRK says, I'm working on that too, Paul, not giving unsolicited advice, even though it's good. It can be difficult, getting better. But yes, not taking things personally. It's everything. You guys, honestly, thank you for saying that, Chavez. Honestly, the more you can depersonalize, if that's even a word, the more you can remove your self being ego from the equation, the more beautiful life is. I'm telling you, it will help your relationships. It will help you to have mental discipline. You guys, I wish I could make everyone take my course, because I promise you, your life will be different. If you knew the person I was 10 years ago, lazy as sin, lazy, would not exercise, would not eat healthy, would not be consistent with anything. I had like emotional ADD. If it didn't feel good, I didn't do it. That's why I didn't stick to anything. My friends who've known me for a really long time, I don't see anyone on here who've known me for like 10 plus years, but people who've known me for over 10 years, woo, they know I was that person who always started a project, didn't finish. This Yonci, I've written 3 ebooks. I've started a coaching business. I've created a course. I've stuck to YouTube for a year and a half. I've stuck with Instagram for years. Y'all, I post 4 times a day. This is on top of dropping 2 videos a week on YouTube. Twitter, not so consistent, it's a lot. TikTok, not so consistent, but I'm still there, you guys. I'm not trying to brag. I'm trying to explain to you guys how powerful this stuff is. Our ego, if it is not checked, our ego is like a lion. It needs to be tamed. A lion is not bad in and of itself, but it can't be let loose in a city, okay? Not when he's starving. Y'all, you gotta work on this. You gotta work on your shadow self. You gotta work on this stuff. And y'all, you gotta have the secret sauce. His name is Jesus. I'm gonna be so disrespectful with it now. I'm just gonna keep saying his name because I can. If you guys knew the stuff that I was working on, let me stop. Okay. How can you tell if a woman is serious about you, respects you? So I don't know if you're saying, how do you know if a woman is serious about you? Or if you're saying if the woman who is serious about you respects you. So can you just, can you just repeat that in a way that I can like make sure I understand? Okay. He knows it. Okay, so where am I at? Okay, so that was that. Oh, so I asked the question about if it's women or men. Like, only like 10 of you guys responded, and there's 20 of you watching right now. 21 of you watching. So if you're a woman, don't repeat vote if you've already voted. Especially Anthony voted twice. Put woman if you're a woman, put man if you're a man. Because I want to see if there are enough women on here to make sense to post, to share this, okay? Because what it is from my group, my Facebook group, Yonci and Friends, I did a post that said, men, where can we find you when you are not at work? Because women have asked, where can we meet women? Women have asked, where can we meet men? How do I make this go back? All right. Hold on, guys. I don't know why this thing won't let me. There we go. All right, so we got another guy. Yeah, I feel like we're guy heavy today, so maybe I'll leave that one. You guys can go to my group and read the answers to that, because I don't want to bore you men with where to find men if you're not looking for men. All right, so keep them coming in, and there's a delay, so it takes a second, and I never know if you guys are just taking a long time or if it's the delay. So hopefully you guys will comment, man or woman. I asked another question in there about men, how do you feel about women discussing their sex life in a public forum? It's become very common for people to talk about what positions they like or how long it's been since they had sex and things like that. One of the things that I like to do is allow men an opportunity to express their thoughts so that women can see how men feel. I think that if you have a large enough number, you could start to see patterns and you could start to act accordingly, okay? So just like what I was telling Paul Arthur, everything isn't good or everything isn't bad necessarily, but you could start to see the percentages. Okay, if the large percentage of men feel this way, probably then I should go this direction if I want to have the best results with guys, okay? So that's why I like to have the Facebook groups, because it really opens up people's eyes to see, unless you're one of those people who get super defensive, it brings all those people to the surface too. But I love to see the data. I love to get feedback. This is how it all started, you guys. This is how it all started. I had no intention of creating a business or being a brand. I was just a nosy ass chick who wanted to ask a lot of questions, and then y'all wouldn't leave. So here we are 6 years later, okay? So I'm gonna keep these questions going because that's where it all started. But join me on in my Facebook group, Yonci and Co. Okay, and like I said before, don't skip the instructions in the description. Y'all have to tap in. You gotta register. You gotta opt in. I don't just randomly let people in. You have to opt in and then drop the email address you used to opt in to be let in. There's like so many people sitting in the waiting room because they're not reading the directions in the group description. So don't be that person, okay? Reading is fundamental. Chavez says that we're all grown. If we can't talk sex in an open forum, we might have some barriers to break. And that's part of what one of the people were asking Chavez. So I think there's a difference between having a dialogue about sex, right? Like I did a live stream one time saying, what are women doing bad in bed? That it's just kind of awkward to tell them. That is more of an educational form. The question that I was trying to ask, which I didn't clarify, and one of the guys pointed out that I needed to clarify, was this is more so about the woman who posts on social media. Man, I haven't gotten it in a long time. Ooh, it's getting cobwebs down there. That type of stuff. How are men feeling about women talking about their personal sex life casually like that and not in a, like I said, an educational forum? Oh, I took that comment a different way. Okay. Personally, I'm not the best when it comes to sexual expression because of how I grew up and what I learned. Sex was a touchy subject. Now I want to explain more, but it's hard. I want to say pun intended. Sorry, I can't help it. I'm such a perv. I have the worst sense of humor. Okay, and see, Chavez is saying he doesn't have a problem with it. And Chavez tends to be very open-minded. So that's what I said. It's not all good and it's not all bad. You're going to find people on the spectrum. You're going to have people who are more conservative. You're people who are more liberal, people who are more open-minded, whatever. Take in the data. That's what that group is for. Okay? You guys can ask questions. If you're a patron, you can ask questions in the group. You can post and stuff. And then if you're just a free person, okay? Just kidding. Not really. But if you're just enjoying it for free, you could just comment and answer questions. You can't present new questions, okay? Last tip. I will give this tip because this is a guy tip since there are mostly guys I see here. Let me take a drink. Please believe I get a lot of DMs, okay? Get a lot of DMs. I get a lot of shots thrown, and I am not complaining, okay? I'm not going to complain. It'll be a sad day when your girl doesn't get any attention, okay? So I'm not going to complain about it. However, I am going to complain about how some people do it. Men, if you shoot your shot in the DM, meaning you are on a social media platform, please, for the love of God, if your page is private, drop a photo, okay? And if you really want to just be awesome, leave a video message because then it proves you're not a catfish. This is why. This is what it feels like to have someone slide in your DM with no identification. It would be like you walking down the street on the sidewalk and you hear a voice from over the wall. Hey, handsome, you're looking good. And you're like, okay, thanks. Hey, I'd love to hang out and get to know you better. No thanks? That's just weird. And for all the people who are like, oh, that's shallow, it shouldn't matter what I look like. Laws of nature. Brush up on them. Stop making it personal. You saw my picture in this example. Or whoever you're shooting at, you saw her picture. You obviously liked what you saw, which is why you slid in their DM. Guarantee you're not sliding in DMs of other private profiles with no picture. Okay? Free game. Call immigration. I'm done. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. I know it's super late for you guys over in the East Coast. It's what, 9:30 for you guys, but that's all I have for you. Just some reminders, little church announcements, and thank you guys. We finally caught up with the likes. Make sure you sign up for my VIP list. So click in the description, click VIP list so that you can be notified when my stuff comes out. I'm so excited. I want to spill the beans, but I'm not going to. If you have it on your heart to become a patron, and I should have said this earlier because half the people have dropped off now. But if you have it in your heart to be a patron, which a lot of you are, I recognize your names, please consider signing up. It is literally as low as $5 a month. But $5 collectively with a group, it helps so much. I'm telling you guys. And like I said, I know eventually I won't even need that. But this allows me to not focus so much on the business side of things. And I really want to just focus on serving people. So that is what that allows me to do. When you are a patron, you get to access all the stuff that's mentioned there. Okay, if you go past the $5, there's different perks and things like that. But the $5 one, that's for general support, and I cannot tell you how grateful I am for that. Okay, photos can be deceiving because some people are photogenic, but at least they have that. I'd rather, you know, a photo that was looking too good than a blank nothing. That's why I said a video is even better. The next thing is, my next reminder is to look out for the video series that's coming. It is, it's a 4-part series. First time I've done a 4-part series on YouTube, but they drop every Tuesday at 2 o'clock my time. For East Coast, that's 5 o'clock. Yeah, so Pacific Standard 2, 5 o'clock Eastern, but they drop every Tuesday. It's a 4-part series on how to protect your heart from heartache while you're dating. Okay, so that's gonna be some good stuff. And then last but not least, join my Yonci and Co. Okay, my Facebook link is below in the description, so grab that. If you guys enjoyed this this show, this live stream, drop me a comment. I'm gonna keep reading them. But until next time, tell someone that you love them. It's been fun, guys.